How y'all doing today, ladies and gentlemen? I got a pretty wild story to tell y'all today, because I never thought in my natural life I'd be making a video that involves the streamer DarkSydePhil and the entire country of Argentina. You see, DarkSydePhil has been going through it the past few weeks over on his DSP Reacts channel. You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, live by the Donos, die by the Argentinian Donos, and that's exactly what's going on, because people found a way to set their VPNs to somewhere in Argentina in order to buy a bunch of really cheap DSP YouTube memberships. Now let me get it out of the way first and foremost. Do not do this. YouTube will most likely ban you, and I don't know if this is even against the rules or this is just how this is how low the Argentinian peso has gotten. I don't even know if that's their currency, but if it is, I don't know what this is, if it's a glitch, if it's just how the currency exchange works. If your Phil's to be believed, it's just a fuck up on YouTube's part, which I could honestly see it being. Nonetheless, I just want to keep people's YouTube channels safe, so be real careful if you're one of the people doing this. On the other note, though, while I was streaming yesterday, somebody gifted me 50 fake Argentinian donos, and I don't know how much it costed, maybe like 50 cents, but I thought it was hilarious. That's just 50 people who get the benefits, and someone found a workaround, and you know what? Good on them. Good on them. But for Phil, it's not just, a 50 bomb here, a 50 bomb there. It's hundreds upon hundreds of these fake Argentinian donos, and he's had it up to here with them. The detractors always seemingly find new methods of messing with Phil here on YouTube, and honestly, this one really came out of left field for me. I didn't expect the next great Phil trolling escapade to come out of South America, but to be fair, I probably just wasn't thinking hard enough. Nonetheless, let's see what Phil himself has to say about this travesty.
And what it is this exploit, is that what they do is they use a VPN. If you don't know what that is, it means it's basically a way to make it look like you are in a certain region or country of the world, even though you're not. It's a way to get around if like an IP address is blocked in your country, you can use a VPN to still access the IP address. It protects your identity in a way, okay? So basically, what people have found is that there's particular countries where if you go to YouTube under that country, okay, that location, YouTube's pricing is completely wrong. It's not that the pricing is cheaper, it's that it's just fucking wrong, okay? Now, I don't know specifically what countries it is. Apparently one of them is a Spanish-speaking country.
Despite everybody already knowing exactly which Spanish-speaking country he's talking about, Phil thinks by just not saying the name that it'll probably dissuade a lot of people from finding out about the drama going on. If you've ever watched a Phil stream, he doesn't want people to even acknowledge the drama. You can hear him probably in this video saying that if you see these 50 bombs get dropped, just ignore them. If you acknowledge it, you're just going to get banned. He thinks that by completely ignoring it, it'll go away, and for most people that's true. But again, as like I said in the beginning of the video, DSP's detractors are on another level, and they will never let him stop having it. And he thinks still, by some chance, if he ignores this enough and tries to downplay it, it'll go away. Look how many situations Phil has found himself in just in the past few years alone. It's never going to stop for the guy, but you got to admire the way that he can lie and try to convince himself that everything's going to get better if he just, can get away from the trolls and all that. It's the same line of thinking that people like Chris Chan and Cyrax have. It's really funny comparing Phil to them, because Phil is just another lolcow, probably more well-known than Cyrax, maybe not as well-known as Chris, maybe, I don't even know. He's one of the bigger lolcows out there. You guys let me know in the comments, who do you think's a more well-known name? But the thing is, with all these guys, they're right. If the trolling would stop, everything probably would get better, but they can't stop doing stupid shit long enough for the trolling to stop. And to be fair, even if they did, I'm not sure the trolls would let go of them that easily.
So apparently people found a way to use a VPN to pretend like they live in another country, and when they do that, it changes all the pricing of everything on YouTube. Completely wrong. It's not a correct rate. Like some people say, oh, it's exchange rates. No, it's not. It's an exploit. YouTube's pricing is fucked up for certain countries, and it's not right. So basically what this person did is they used a VPN to log in as another country, and they went and bought hundreds of memberships for like pennies, right? So think about this. They bought 50 memberships, and if they did that in the United States, that would be like $4 times 50. That's $200. They were able to get it for like 50 cents because it's fucked up. It's completely broken. So they bought 200, then they used another account, they bought 100, and now this EX Hooligan did it and did 50. 550 memberships purchased via a VPN exploit that should not exist and has incorrect pricing, and they bought 550 memberships for like $2.
Yeah, again, I tried to look into this to see if there's like any actual rule breaking going on here, but I couldn't find anything. I'm still not entirely convinced that this is 100% like in the right, but at the same time, I'm not sure that YouTube's like, if they were losing money this way, they'd be on that shit. Right? Like, it's businesses do what's best for themselves, and YouTube sees a good chunk of that membership money, despite it only being like $2-3 a pop. But they want their cut, and they're not about to be swindled out of it. Although it definitely does seem like there is something like some shenanigans afoot here, and when the detractors use this of all things against DSP, it's going to affect him. I mean, this would affect really anyone who does this as a full-time job, and DSP is one of those people. And this completely this really takes everything for him out of whack. I think I heard him say somewhere that his revenue's down like 37%. That could just be the title of a Snort Hogan video that I saw. By the way, shout out to Snort Hogan. His channel will be linked in the description below. If you want to see like this whole story in clip channel format, which is really the only way you can watch Phil, go show Snort some love, ladies and gentlemen.
So you might be like, so why didn't I see the revenue? Well, I did. I made $2 on all those memberships. So how would I even have known that's what it was? There's no way you could record that and it would make any sense. How would you know? Right? So to confirm this, there's been super chats that have been coming in from people, and they look huge. For example, someone will do a super chat and it'll be red, and red means it's the highest tier of super chat. Okay? You're like, whoa, it's a red super chat. That means it's very valuable. But when you actually currency convert it from whatever this Spanish currency is that the super chat is, and you convert it to USD, it's like $1 or less. So yeah, it's basically YouTube is fucked up. They have this glitch or exploit, a hole in the system where people are working around, where they live and buying things on YouTube insanely cheap. And apparently it's not just me. Apparently this has been going on for months. Like, people have been going to YouTube streamers and dropping hundreds of gifted memberships on their channels, and the people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. This could be like life-changing money for me. You just gave me $1,000, and then they make like 25 cents. And they're like, huh?
In this clip right here, Phil tries to make this sound like a site-wide problem, which, to be fair, it could turn into, but as of right now, it is strictly a DSP problem. Again, this is another one of the things that all locals do. Cyrax does it a lot when he says, look what the trolls have done, look at all the lives they have ruined, when really they only go after him because he's a predator, and other people who are also of his ilk. People like DSP, they don't understand that people like him get messed with because he's the biggest beggar on the website. They're not just going to do this to any streamer they like. It's really only him. I look around and I haven't seen anyone else fall into this trap where people are just sending all these fake donos to them. It's only DSP, but he wants to make it sound like YouTube needs to enact now because everyone's dealing with this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I just got 50 gifted memberships, but it very well could be that these memberships are from someone who's abusing this VPN thing. And I don't know, because I don't know who this person is. Who is Crypto? Right? Has anyone ever heard of this person, Crypto? Because it's weird that the people who are doing these bombs, these member bombs, are people no one's ever heard of. Right? Who is Crypto? And apparently this person has only made 5 shorts on YouTube. 5 shorts, that's it. Right? Their account has existed since May of last year. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you trust it or not, right? I mean, if it's real, I'm incredibly grateful. The problem is we just recently got 550 memberships that were fake. So, do you trust it or not, right? Yeah, the bottom line is there's nothing that I can do to stop someone using this VPN bullshit to buy stuff on YouTube on the cheap. There's nothing I can do about it at all. That's YouTube's problem to fix, not mine. So for all of you who are getting memberships right now, congrats, right? But crypto, I need to know who you are and if this is legit and what's going on. You need to speak in chat and tag me and say, you know, again, you have to understand why I'm skeptical. I literally just got 550 gifted memberships last week that were not real, and I didn't get paid for them. So, I'd like to know who you are and what the deal is. If you're in here, can you talk and at least say something? Did he? Scallop Potatoes, he says he literally said this is from Argentina. Did he? Oh, he did? Oh, okay. Enjoy your ban. Crypto is permanently banned and not coming back. So there you go.
Phil is now at the stage where he expects every single big gift membership bomb that comes in to be one of these fake ones, because beforehand, this wasn't a common occurrence in Philip's chat. But now, constant people are donating 50 gift subs at a time with names that demean people like himself and Derek, and Phil can tell right off the jump if they're fake or not. But when people like this guy whose name is Crypto did it, he's none the wiser. So he basically demands, he's like, hey, you gotta talk in chat, man. Like you can tell Phil's sitting there trying to focus on this game, but all he can focus on is telling this dude, hey, speak up. Let me know if that's real or not so I can ban you. And all it takes is one random person in chat saying, oh, that guy said he was from Argentina. And Phil just gets so smug about himself. Now imagine, right? Imagine you are. Put yourself in the shoes of an Argentinian DSP fan. You get home from work, you don't have the best paying job. The Argentinian peso is not what it used to be, and you're working harder than you ever have in your life. And you get home and there's only one thing that cheers up your day. That's seeing old DSP go live and play a video game with the fun and positive chat there with you. So Phil's playing the game and you decide, you know what, I've worked hard this week, but Phil's worked harder. So I'm going to gift him, let's say, 50 gift subs. You do it. And Phil just looks into that camera with pure disgust on his face and says, wow, thanks for giving me those fake donos. Wouldn't that just crush you? And that's the fate of many of these fans from down under. Well, not that's Australia. I mean, like down under, like Mexico or wherever. But it's a sad time to be a DSP fan because he does not want your support. And what a shame that is. Now listen, I make my jokes. Everyone knows that this is a pretty wacky situation. As I said already, though, I'm not sure how much this is breaking the rules or not. But I'll tell you one thing right now. Someone like Phil, who begs constantly, who will contradict himself in the same statement by saying that he's not going to ask and beg for money, but he may ask and beg for money at least once a day. Phil knows that in January, YouTube ad revenue is the slowest it is all year, but now it's going to be even worse with none of these memberships counting for really anything at all. I'm not sure exactly how much they cost, but it's probably around like $3 or $4 for these hundreds of memberships. And, I guess you could say that it is kind of like stealing, but the way I look at it is, it's kind of like when Radiohead sold the In Rainbows album, and they made it so that people could pay whatever they wanted for it. I wish there was an option for that here on YouTube. If there is, someone in the chat let me know, because that would be a sick thing to do. It's something the DSP would never do, but imagine flipping that switch on, letting people just pay whatever for memberships, if they even want one, if they think it's necessary. That's the thing, Phil. People should be allowed to decide whether they want these things or not. You shouldn't tell them and keep beating it into their head that they need to do this to support you. All that you should ask from people is that they enjoy and watch your content. Supporting you is an entirely different alley that you need to earn by getting people's respect. And right now, I don't see one single solitary person on this website who respects you. Well, maybe other than Derek. Man, a DSP video really always brings out the worst in people. I feel like I've just been sitting here just rolling my eyes almost the entire time. But that's how the guy makes people feel sometimes. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope the rest of y'all have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Just keep trying to push through these cold months, ladies and gentlemen. It is rough out there no matter where you are. But I know all y'all gonna kick ass and gonna see you here in the next one. So until then, take care, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you then.